Right, guys, in this video, we're going to be going over the pros and cons of SMMA in 2023 because there are some big ones.
Yep, massive ones. You kick it off with the pros.
Right,
what are the pros of starting an SMMA in 2023? Let's go.
So the obvious first pro is the financial benefits of running an SMA. It's extremely lucrative. You can very easily scale your business to $10,000 a month within 6 months or even sooner if you know what you're doing.
Absolutely.
And that might sound ridiculous to you. When I first started and I heard people throw out $10,000, $20,000, $30,000 per month, I was like, that's more than my parents' salary, yearly salary. And people are saying that you can earn that a month online with doing not a lot of work. Like, it blew my mind, but that, hand on heart, that is very, very true and very, very achievable for a lot of people once they know what they're doing. So that's benefit one. Financial freedom. You can scale your agencies to 100,000 a month. Obviously, over a longer period of time, it's a lot harder to do, build the processes, etc. But financial freedom through SMA is, in my opinion, the best way to do it in 2023.
Yeah.
Positive two is time freedom. Now, this ties in very heavily to financial freedom, because I was saying to Tom before we filmed this video, if you compare someone earning £100,000 a year in SMMA to someone earning £100,000 a year in central London being a banker, that £100,000 earned by SMMA is a hell of a lot more lucrative, in the sense that SMMA owner, for me, is really earning 300 to 400,000. The reason being, that banker who has to live in central London has to work extremely long hours away from all his family and has to pay for an expensive flat in London, has to pay for expensive transport in London every single day. All of those added stresses in life, compared to an SMMA owner who can, if he wanted to, sit in his bed all day, wake up at whenever he wants, work whenever he wants. The quality of that person's
commute.
life.
Yeah,
no commute,
no train, no bus, no parking issues. Yeah.
And that also feeds into other parts of his life. For example, I know someone who works in central London on a extremely good salary, but he has to wake up at 5:30 every morning. He gets home at 8 p.m. at night. So and since he's got that new job, he's earning over 100 grand a year, but he can no longer go to the gym because he just physically doesn't have time. If he does, he doesn't have any time in the evenings. He doesn't eat very well because he's rushes to get up in the morning, works extremely long hours at a demanding job. So yes, he's earning 100 grand a year, but he doesn't eat well. His fitness isn't right. His health's not right. He's super stressed out. He's tired all of the time. Yeah. So it trickles down, and that means his relationship with his friends and family and social life is taking a hit as well. Whereas the SMMA owner, who's earning the same amount of money, has all the time in the world for family, all the time in the world for friends, eats well, goes to the gym, can do all of those things. Yeah. So that time freedom is probably the biggest part that you and I benefit from. The time freedom and my next point, which is location freedom, way more than the financial side of things. Yeah,
completely. Because we're busy boys, and I got kids.
Exactly. And you fly back from London to New York probably like fucking, I don't know, every week at this point.
twice a month. Yeah, I'm there.
Yeah. Like, if you had a full-time job that was that strenuous, you physically wouldn't be able to do that.
No, you can't do it. No,
you wouldn't be able to afford to do it. No. So there's location freedom, time freedom, and financial freedom. Those three pillars, SMMA literally gives you. And we're living proof of that. And everyone else who runs a successful agency is living proof of that as well.
There's not many people who would argue with all those points that you've said.
No. And that's so achievable, isn't it? So achievable.
Oh my God.
We're
living proof. Like, we don't preach things that we don't practice. We are living proof that we have completely orchestrated a life for ourselves based around business first, lifestyle second. You can't go into it with like, I'm going to work these. You can only take advantage of the SMMA benefits once you're becoming established.
Yeah.
And if you think you're going to live that life in the first 6 months, then I'm afraid, my friend, you're wrong. When you get to month 7 and 8, when you're earning like even just 3 grand, 4 grand a month, you can then take advantage and do what you want.
Mate, this puts it all into perspective, how easy it is to get financial freedom from SMMA. I sent you we saw a TikTok the other day, said the average salary for people in the UK. Ages 16 to 17, ages 16 to 17, the average yearly salary is £11,000 a year. 18 to 21 is 18,000 a year. 22 to 29 is 26,000 a year. 30 to 39 is 32,000 a year. And 40 to 50, which is the highest bracket, is 36,000 a year. That's before tax. So, that's another thing about owning an agency, about the tax benefits and the etc. We'll go into that after. So if you're the highest bracket, age 40 to 50, so you have to wait to that age to earn 35,000 a year, the average salary in the UK. That's different all across the world. So after tax, your probably take home pay is around 2.2k a month. To earn 2.2k a month from SMMA, we signed a client yesterday for £1,000 a month.
Yeah.
From one cold call.
On a 4-month contract.
On a 4-month contract. You need to do that 2 times to earn the average yearly salary in the UK of a 50-year-old man. If you listen to that and you don't then think, I'm going to start an SMMA, you are crazy.
Yeah.
2 clients.
I think so I'm 39, right? On that list then, what is the average salary that you would earn as a 39-year-old?
39 is £33,000 a year.
33,000. Yeah. Now, that's before tax.
Yes.
That as a 39-year-old man now that has got my digital marketing business with Harry, we are earning, we both earn 6 figures. We don't ever hide that, but it just shows the massive jump in average salary from being a robot and working for someone else, doing the 9-to-5 grind, to having freedom, all the pros that Harry's just gone through. And if you haven't heard them, go back and revisit the beginning of this podcast. But all those freedom aspects whilst making the money. And it's not passive income. Please don't think this is a passive income. Passive income, by the way, is something which you get income from doing no work. SMMA is not that. It's a genuine business. But the pros on it are phenomenal, really.
Yeah.
Puts in perspective when you read that out on the salaries. That's actually it's actually disgusting, if I'm honest.
It is.
Like Americans, I spend a lot of time in America. My girlfriend is American. She lives in the East Coast. The salaries in America are just outrageous, outrageously high. And when you compare it to the UK, our salaries are tiny and people are scraping by. And we actually have, particularly when people I bet if you're in your car now and listening to this podcast, you look at your fuel gauge. All right, look at your fuel gauge. If you're running near the end, you've got about £65 to £70 that you're going to have to fork out and put in that car. And it would have been £35 like 2 years ago. The average cost of living is massively increased. You've got to think about this seriously as an option, because you get it right and you don't have to worry about your heating bill going up £200 a month. You just pay it.
Yeah, mate, and that leads perfectly onto my final point, is that if you own a business, SMMA or any business, you have so many tax write-offs that you can benefit financially. So say, for example, that average person earns, let's say, £30,000 a year. That's, say, before tax free. This isn't the case, but before tax, 3,000 a year. So it's before tax monthly is 3,000 a year, and it's after tax monthly is 2,500 a year, two and a half a month. Say you have a phone bill for £100 and you put £200 of petrol in a month, and you have a car payment. All of that can be taken off of your pre-tax earnings rather than your after-tax earnings. So someone who owns an SMMA and that earns 3,000 a month, they're only taxed on 3,000 minus all their expenses. Whereas someone that has a job, they pay the tax on the 3,000, so they get 2,000, 2.5, and then they pay all those expenses on the 2.5 rather than the 3. So you take home way more owning your own business because you have all of those write-offs.
And that's the government are doing that deliberately to encourage people to start their own businesses, because that leads to jobs, and they do want more jobs.
Exactly. And we could go on, mate. The amount of benefits, I mean, it's just completely changed both of our lives in every aspect. However, there is a flip side to the coin. So what are the negatives?
Okay, so the cons. What is the negatives of SMMA? Well, for a start, you are responsible for every piece of outcome of your business. That's a huge negative. And the reason why it's a negative is because it's stressful as fuck if you get it wrong. But We operate well, me and you, we get stressed. Me and you get stressed. We don't show it in like, we smash plates against the wall and throw your iPad against the ceiling and stuff. We deal with it in different ways, but it does get stressy. It's also, when it goes well, it's super amazing and you forget the stress. But a con to it all is it can be stressful. You are accountable for everything you do.
Yeah.
You want a new client? Fuck you, go and get one. You've lost one? Well, fuck you, got to go and get another one. No one is doing any work on your behalf unless you've got staff. But at the beginning, it's you. You're the sole, he or she doing it, So whatever you put in, you get out. All right. That's a con because there's no one you can fall back on. There's no safety net. Okay. The other con is if you, like I did last week, 2 weeks ago, get the flu. Okay. I was really sick for 10 days. I could barely open my laptop. I had messages coming through. I had emails to reply to. I could hardly open my eyes. A negative is when you're sick, you don't get sick pay. Well, you get paid from your business, but no one is doing it for you on your behalf. All right. So you have to kind of think of a plan B. Luckily, I have a business partner and Harry picks up all the work on my behalf and I would do the same for him. However, it's a negative. Just like it is for a landscape or driveway person. If you're a one-man band in anything, when you're sick, it has a major knock-on effect. In my last job, when I was in a sales and marketing job for a big company down the road, if I was sick, I'd just get paid and stay at home, which is why people abuse the sickness policies in their businesses, right? So that's another one. The other negative is the hours you work. Now, me and you just in the pros said you can work whatever hours you want and where you want. All that is true. Doesn't take away from the fact you have to put in some grind. You have to put in the hours. Once you get momentum, you can take every Friday off. You can take every Wednesday off. You could take every Wednesday and Friday off. As long as you cannot do that without ensuring all the work that is set for you to do has been done. Okay. Yeah. If you say you're going to get a sales funnel and some ads up on Instagram or your TikTok ads, if you say you're going to get them up by Friday and the campaign starts Monday and you've not done it and you've taken Wednesday or Friday off and the campaign's now Monday, client's expecting it to start, hasn't, you're behind schedule, then why are you taking those hours off? So the cons are, to my point, is you do have to ensure that you're still putting in a ton of hours. That might mean starting at 9 in the morning and finishing at 11 o'clock at night. But it's in some ways it's a pro because it's flexibility, but it's what we're saying is you still have to put those hours in at some point.
Yeah,
you have to. So that's a con. I think the other one is when you are starting to live the lifestyle that me and you live. So working when we want, where we want particularly. One of the cons is that if you're not available to your clients, again, your business will suffer. So if you're out on a beach or you're in a different country and you're spending time doing that, you have to be accessible to your clients still. And you've got to make sure you're not projecting that onto your clients so they think you're just gallivanting. It's a really tough skill, but you have to give the impression that you are focused and you're not losing, you're not ruining your life. So that's kind of something else. The other massive con to this job, one of the big things that doesn't piss me off because I actually love it, but it does get a bit much, is you are at the beck and call of your client all the time. So you will get emails on a Saturday. You'll get phone calls on a Saturday. I've had them recently. One of our clients who's actually just they're not a client anymore because they've gone down a different route and then they're cut back on their marketing. That happens. But they're not a client of ours, but they still text me on a Saturday saying, "Hi Tom, I've got an issue with my business manager on Facebook. Like, can you help me? I'm really stuck. I need some help." On a Saturday, I've got 2 kids knocking around my feet. I've got sausages that are burning in the oven, right? And I've got a life that I'm living, and I've got a client messaging me on a Saturday.
Yeah, it's like, that's a huge negative, but that's also the reason, mate, why our agency is so successful. Right.
So it's a double-edged sword. So it's also the fact that the reason why me and Harry literally pickpocket businesses from other agencies, and we do it regularly. We take business off them without blinking. Okay. The reason we do that is because our offer is so strong. The one part of what we offer is the fact that we are available virtually 24/7 to our clients within reason. But I've had text messages at 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock in the morning from clients in the US, 4 o'clock in the morning from clients in the UK. One of our clients gets up at 4 and does his admin, and he's based in central London, right? And he will message us at 4 o'clock in the morning. Now, he's not expecting us to get back to him, but there's no escape from it. I don't have two phones. I have one phone, right? So do you. So all my business comes through the one phone. All my girlfriend messages me, my mum, my kids, whatever. It's all coming through the same device.
It's a big one. Like
it's
even not being able to escape the business. I mean, we love it so much. Well, we both love it so much. So it doesn't affect us as much as it will the average person. But I find it fucking impossible to switch off. Like I'll be sat watching TV at 9 o'clock at night with my girlfriend, and I'll get a text through, and it'd be impossible not to reply to the text from a client.
Yeah.
And it's like, that is a negative. Like the business is your life. And it's a sad reality that it has to be.
It has to be.
Like if you're trying to grow a business and you're trying to build a portfolio of clients, and you're only available to them 9 till 5, and they're in a different country, so that's only 2 hours of your day, taking in consideration the time difference, you're gonna fucking struggle.
Yeah.
Like you have to make it your life.
You really do. Any entrepreneur would say that, whether it's Dan Pena, Gary Vee, Tony Robbins, you have to go above and beyond for your clients all the time. You can't, if you think you're going to go into SMA and just work 9 to 5 hours, Monday to Friday, you are massively mistaken. You'll work the hours you want to work, and you'll work when you want to work. It's the beauty. That's the pros that Harry's just gone through in the earlier in the video. But yeah, some of the negatives.
But there'll be people that say to this, oh, well, you've got a team that does it. You shouldn't be working in a business all the time. Yes, we do. But when you're scaling your business, you're at the driving seat of it.
Yeah.
That's like saying when Amazon went public, or I can't remember what it was. When Amazon went public and Jeff Bezos became a billionaire, he was still working like 18 hours a week. That's like saying, well, he's got team members. Why is he still working? Like, it's why does Elon Musk work 18 hours a week?
Yeah.
Like we're at the driving seat of scaling a business. So you have to be especially for beginners anyway, when you've not got a team, you're the only person there. So it's like, it's not an excuse. And those people that say, well, I hire someone in all these different countries to handle different parts of my business, and I sit back. Yeah, but how much money do you make? How profitable is your agency? What's your margins? What's your relationship like with your clients?
And
what's your communication like? Yeah. How long do you keep them for? Because I guarantee that if someone can show me an agency that outsources all the work and they sit back and do nothing in-house, and they've got profit margins over 70%, and their average customer retention is over 3 months, fair play. But I refuse to believe that exists.
No, I don't. It doesn't exist.
I know it doesn't exist. It's fucking impossible for that to exist.
And the reason why we do, like, we also love our clients. There's not an aspect of our business that we don't oversee. That's the answer. Is, whether we do have team members, but we front up team meetings. We front up the new business meetings because they want to work with Tom and Harry. We're all over Instagram. We're all over YouTube. They know about us, and they've done their research. Some of them, they know our brand is based on us. So fucking hell, of course they want to speak to us. So we get on all the sales calls. We oversee all the work that happens. Even to the point where we're giving thumbnails to someone else. I want to see these thumbnails. I want them to be sent to me so I can check them out. So there's lots of things, different things we offer with our marketing agency, but we are control freaks. But I think you do have to be successful. It just means you're going to have to sacrifice some time on Snapchat. I've told people this before. Fucking get off Snapchat, get off Netflix. Don't bury yourself in TikTok if you're not using it for work, and get in and get your jobs and tasks done and get out. And then you can work whatever hours you need. But it is a negative, the fact that you are at the beck and call. And there are times where there's no escape from it. And you do think, fuck, I really need a break from this person.
Yeah.
But if that person's paying you $1,800, $2,000 a month, what's life like without them?
Exactly. Well, I think that's a perfect way to end that video, mate. Some good positives, some good negatives. I think that puts it real in perspective. And yeah, hope you enjoyed that, guys. If you've not watched our previous video, it was on the best and most effective outreach method for lazy people. So if you're sat there thinking, I'm a lazy little fucker, And I don't want to do anything Tom and Harry have just said. Watch that video because it will help you out.